Well, that sail did not go the way we expected. We left the anchorage, and the tripping line that we set to make sure we could get our anchor up came up really easily. Normally it's really tricky, so we were kind of feeling quite pleased with ourselves, got everything in, got it stowed, and we were heading down river, and we can show you a bit of footage because we took that on the camera, when I noticed that we had quite a lot of white steam coming out of our exhaust rather than water. So that was a bit stressful. Alan ran down below. Sometimes we get a problem where we get a bit of something in the water filter, and we clean it out and prime it with some water and all is fine. So Alan ran down below to do that, and it is in a really awkward place. I don't know why where it is. It's in our aft cabin, but it's inaccessible just about. So we did that, but it improved things and it got quite a lot of seaweed out of there, but it didn't look great. So we decided we'd anchor up. So we went into an anchorage, which really was temporary, and quickly anchored up. Had a little look in the water filter properly and found lots of seaweed. So Alan pulled all that out, we reprimed it and had a look, and it looked a little better. So we decided that with this problem, it would be better if we were in a marina, because if we need to fix it, it would be much simpler. If we got back to a marina, we needed spare parts or anything like that. Where anchored where we were in the middle of nowhere and we're running out of food. So decided together we were going to leave. So we upped anchor and set off. We did know when we set off that we were going to have to sail into the wind. We didn't want to use the engine too much, so we were sailing up a river and around lots of U-bends, and when we got out into the sort of main area of the river, it was completely on the nose at 18 knots. So we had to close haul tack up a skinny little channel, and it took hours. It took us about 5 hours to get up that bit. And on the way up, just to make things a little bit more stressful, our jib sheet came unattached from the sail itself, just completely. So it's normally attached with this, and this part here is our temporary fix. The old one is in bits and broken, so it's all snapped up and no good. So the old one was probably undersized anyway, but it's broken and rubbish. So we've had enough of that. We did a temporary replacement while sailing upwind in horrible conditions and put this on. Reattached it, pulled the sail out thinking fantastic. Not so. A moment later, another colossal crack, and this time the becket at the top, you can see how bent this is. The pieces that were in there have come out, lost them, and again the jib sheet went flying. Jibs flapping all over the place, we're bouncing in the waves. It was a bit of a nightmare. So this time we decided just to fill the sail in and tie it up and get it under control, and we basically tacked the rest of the way on our main and got ourselves all the way back to a marina. It was a bit tricky at the end. We had the last sort of half a mile to go, and we had to get our sail in and use the engine, and really there was no water really coming through at all, so we cannot understand what's happened there. All we can think is we've sucked something up through the sail drive and got it stuck somehow, or the impeller's damaged. So tomorrow's fun is fixing that lot.
How long have we had that?
Oh, this beautiful Selden kit, we've had this since February. It went on in March. No, it went on in April, didn't it? We installed it in April, so literally we've been sailing for 2 months with a brand new block, and it's broken.
So now we're going to try and back flush the sail drive. So we're going to push some pressure down through this hose into the sail drive, and hopefully that'll, if there's anything blocking in the sail drive, this will unblock it. If there's any weed around the leg, or there's any mud or plastic or anything like that, yeah.
Bits of sea life, maybe it will just back flush the whole system.
Okay, so we've back flushed, and now I just want to see whether we've made any effect, had any effect on the flow rate, which we have. Woohoo! That's a big improvement. I don't know if it's enough, but it's a big improvement.
Brilliant. And look at that, water is now pouring out. The back flush worked. And I've got to show you, the skipper is very pleased with himself. We are so happy. We're going to leave the rest and have something to eat before we tidy up. So, having fixed our problems that we had on our last sail, we are now just getting ready to depart. So we were off to Camaret, Sommer. I think Alan has taken the electric off, and we have so much water coming out the back. Still pleased with that. So we're going to go off to Camaret, Sommer today. It's not far, a couple of hours, but it gets us a bit closer to going around the peninsula and a bit further south. Okay, we are off. As ever, we've got wind on the nose. How is it you can never avoid wind on the nose? You set off in a sailing yacht and it's always on the nose. In front of us you can see the Goulet de Brest. It's just that narrow gap between the two sort of pieces of land on either side. We're going to go through there and just pop round to Camaret. It's not particularly windy, it's 10 knots on the nose. But until we get through there, it's on the nose. What can I say? Then we're going to turn hard to port. We might be able to sail for half an hour, might just get the jib out and have a little sail along the coast there. And that will be our little journey done for today. The skipper, in case you're wondering, is down below. So it is always tradition that I generally stay on the Helmond passage and the skipper does the log readings. He makes sure everything is okay down below, and most importantly of all,
Still trying to make tea.
he makes the tea!
The gas keeps going out.
Oh no, but our gas keeps going out, which is really annoying. We think the thermocouple might need a bit of a clean.
But it'll be fine.
And there's the stove. But the crew has got a drink. I'm not sure what this vessel is, whether it's military or is it the douane, which is their customs. But he's kind of guarding the Goulet de Brest. I haven't heard anything on the radio yet, but looking quite ominous. I've somehow got to go around him. At the moment, I'm hoping to go around his stern, but he is right on my path. Look at these, they're military. There's that one. There was the second one coming up the Goulet, and the first one is sort of anchored here. I think they're waiting to go into this port over here, which is a military port. One of the reasons we're heading to Camaret is we've run out of food. We haven't shopped for over a week, so noodles for lunch today. Desperate food.
So we've arrived in Camaret, or Camaret-sur-Mer. We're anchored just off the marina, and we're just taking the tender in to do a bit of shopping because we're running dangerously low on food, and the skipper is going to start, having to devour members of the crew, which limits it really because there's only Tish.
Well, we made it ashore in the dinghy. going shopping because we're starving. So we're currently anchored here in Camarasa. We're going to sail out of here, through the middle of some rocks here, come down, and then carefully make passage through here. There's rocks on either side. There's some there and some there. We're going to come down here, around this headland, and then sail up here. There's a little marina here called Morgat. We're going to head into Morgat because tomorrow the weather's not looking very nice. So we're going to go and hide in there. Everybody thinks coming to France, it's going to be lovely. Go to France, they said. It will be sunny and lovely and nice. We're about to set off and I'm in my oilies. It's pouring with rain. Well, the engine is off, we're sailing and it's time for tea. It looks lovely out here. We're currently downwind sailing. Because we're downwind sailing and we're only doing sort of 3 knots, light winds, we've had to put what we call a preventer on. So the sail is out, it's out a long, long way. But because it's so light, they sometimes want to jolt back towards the cockpit, which is quite dangerous. So you can see this line here, we've tied a line to the boom, to the cleat. That's called a preventer, and it stops that sail jumping about and keeps us sailing along. Not long on this course, and then we change and we can take it off and sail a bit more rapidly.
We've got a block toilet, and I was just stripping it down to see if there's any grit or anything here, and I've discovered a fishtail just here.
Oh my God.
I thought it was a bit of seaweed, but it's a fishtail.
Is it still alive?
I don't know. I'm trying to get it out. It's going to be a really boring video because I can't get it out.
Okay. Well, we can stop it and record it when you get it.
That's true. Yeah.
So we can see the fish. Alan's pointing at it with a screwdriver. It's pretty big. If he pulls it out and puts it on the toilet seat, we'll see. Oh my God, it's massive!
Well, Kerry and Carol, you've said I've never caught a fish. Look at that.
He's finally caught a fish.
I'm taking this as a as a result.
Maybe you should use it as bait.
Well,
This is the answer.
I'll pop him in there.
Your first fish. I bet the toilet will work better now. So we've been in Morgat for a couple of days. Came in the day before yesterday. This has been our berth. We stayed because it got quite windy. It was really gusty yesterday. Probably a 6 out in the bay and we just didn't fancy it. Here comes Alan off the boat. It's about 8:30 and we're heading to the boulangerie. Boulangerie for bread. It's low water this morning, so the ramp is quite steep. But up we go. Also got the rubbish to get rid of this morning. It's just starting to rain. It's going to be a wet one today, I think. We're hoping to get to the boulangerie and back before it tucks it down. Quite a simple marina, but we really like the town. Very pretty place. Designed and built by architects. So yesterday, I came and did some washing. This is the Lavery Revolution. This is how they do their washing. There's lots of these in the marinas. It's the first time I used one. There were queues yesterday. It was nicer weather. 2 washing machines and a dryer. There's a little keypad on the right and you can luckily switch it to English and it gives you all the instructions. You pay by credit card and you're in. It's done. It was really simple. All the washing liquid and everything is included and you can see the prices. So there's a €5 wash that I used and a €3 dry. Brilliant idea. So this is the beach just as we come out from the marina. Tide is out, beautiful sandy beach. And they've got this really lovely promenade, all beautifully planted with lots of lovely benches. And as you walk along, they've got sort of lots of fixed furniture with sun loungers. Lots of people using those when it's nice weather. You can see the skipper in front there, ambling along. We had a really nice walk yesterday. We walked all the way around the bay, all the way around to the other side, right over there. And back again through the water. Very nice. Super lovely place. As you walk up along the promenade, you come to these beautiful sort of shops. Reminds us a lot of Tobermory with all these brightly coloured buildings. Along here there is a boulangerie, which is where we obviously are going to get our bread. Lots of restaurants and cafes. There's a supermarket here as well, which is not far from where we are. It's a short sort of few minutes walk from the marina. Great little spot. While we're here, we decided to spoil ourselves and have a little breakfast. Pain au chocolat and a croissant for the skipper. Very delicious.
And a traditional English breakfast tea.
Yeah, the tea, we have to say. We've been here a few times over the years sailing, and the tea we think has really improved. We're very happy with the tea this year. So we decided to bring our bikes, here they are, up to Crozon. I'm not kidding when I say we've cycled up a mountain to get here. It felt massive, but it's quite pretty now we're here. We're a bit sad that there seems to have been a market today, but we're too late, we've missed it. Now we're going to go and have a look. There's a beautiful church here in the centre of Crozon. Look at that. And Alan is just looking at this First World War memorial. So Crozon is just a small little sort of village centre really, with a few shops up and down. There's butchers and boulangeries and there's a Carrefour. I think out of town you can go to some bigger supermarkets and places, but it's just a really sweet little French town.